What kind of parent looks you in the eye while your 3-year-old is hooked to machines and says, "We can't rearrange the floral budget for Amalfi, honey. People have already RSVP'd." Drop your city if you've ever had to beg the people who made you for the life of the child you made. I need to know I'm not alone. I'm 31F. Children's book illustrator and co-founder of a tiny indie publishing house that finally started turning real profit last year. My daughter Lily 3F is my entire world. Strawberry curls, gap-toothed smile, obsessed with otters. My sister Chloe to 8F is the golden child who has never worked a day in her life, yet somehow owns a $1.4 million townhouse my parents helped her buy growing up. Chloe got the bedroom with the bay window. I got the converted closet under the stairs. Chloe got violin lessons in pageant dresses. I got a $12 set of Prismacolors from the clearance bin and was told to stop wasting paper. Every birthday, Chloe's cake was a 5-tier masterpiece from the bakery downtown. Mine was a Costco sheet cake with "Happy Birthday, Emily" plus Chloe, because they'd already paid for Chloe's party the week before. Grandma June saw everything. Every time they forgot my school play, she was in the front row holding roses. Every time they told me art wouldn't pay the bills, she wired another $5,000 into the secret account she opened when I was 12. By the time I was 28, that account held $188,000. Grandma made me swear I'd only touch it for something that makes your soul breathe. I used the first chunk to self-publish my otter picture book. It sold 40,000 copies in pre-order alone. I paid her back every cent and then some. She died 6 weeks before Lily was born, whispering, "Use the rest to protect my girls." Last October, Lily started bruising if you looked at her wrong. Diagnosis: acute lymphoblastic leukemia. The only thing that could guarantee long-term survival was an allogeneic bone marrow transplant after chemo. Cost with insurance gaps insurance wouldn't touch. Roughly $40,000 out of pocket, plus travel to the specialized center in Seattle. I called my parents from the hospital parking lot, sobbing so hard I threw up in the bushes. Me. They found a protocol. It's $40,000 we don't have. But if we start now, Mom cutting me off. "Sweetie, we're literally in Italy doing cake tastings for Chloe's wedding. Can this wait until September?" Me, Lily might not have until September. Dad in the background, tell her we'll Venmo $1,000 when we're home. We're maxed out on the Amalfi deposit, $1,000. For a child's life. While they were dropping $18,000 on imported peonies alone, Chloe's wedding budget hit to $5K before they even booked a string quartet made of Juilliard graduates. My parents took out a second mortgage because Chloe only gets one wedding. Meanwhile, GoFundMe stalled at $9,800 and I was selling every original painting I'd ever hoarded. I stopped asking, started liquidating everything that wasn't Lily's, sold my car, took out a second on my little condo, worked 18-hour days illustrating while Lily napped between chemo rounds. And I waited because Grandma's lawyer called the week Chloe sent out her $87 save the dates. Printed on handmade paper embedded with real gold leaf. "Emily," he said, "June left you sole control of the family trust. Your parents and Chloe are beneficiaries only as long as you approve. The principal is $2.7 million. I actually laughed out loud in the hospital corridor. Grandma's final middle finger from the grave. I didn't touch a cent yet. I just waited. May. Chloe's wedding week in Positano. I wasn't invited, something about keeping the energy light for the bride. They flew 120 guests first class, put them up in cliffside villas, paid for open bars with liquor that cost more per bottle than my monthly mortgage. 2 days before the ceremony, Lily relapsed hard. Her only 10/10ths bone marrow match on the National Registry. A 28-year-old woman in Chicago who shares 99.7% DNA with my parents. My sister Chloe. The transplant coordinator called my parents directly. "We need Chloe tested immediately. If she's a full sibling match, we can harvest in 10 days. Suddenly, my mother was blowing up my phone. "Mom, this is a lot to ask the week of the wedding. Mom, can't they use the registry? Mom, the villa only has 60 bedrooms. Where would the medical team even stay?" I sent one text. Me. "The trust pays for Chloe's wedding. The trust is now administered solely by me. Have her on a plane by tomorrow or every vendor gets canceled Monday morning." Radio silence for 9 hours. Then Chloe herself called. Hysterical. Mascara already running for the pre-wedding shoot. "Chloe, you're seriously going to ruin my wedding over this." Me? "No. You're going to save my daughter's life. Then you can still have your wedding." She flew home, got tested. Perfect match. The harvest was scheduled for the Tuesday after the original wedding date. I signed the papers, moving the entire $250,000 into an escrow controlled by me and Grandma's lawyer. Told my parents the money would be released the minute Lily was in recovery. They tried everything. Guilt, rage, threats to sue. My father actually said, "You're holding your sister's happiness hostage." I looked him dead in the eye in the hospital corridor and said, "No, I'm holding my daughter's life priority." Turns out money moves when it has to. Chloe donated, cried the whole time about how she'd have harvest bruises in her wedding photos. I reminded her the bruises would be under a $22,000 dress. Plenty of concealer could fix that. Lily engrafted on day +16. Her little body accepted. Chloe's cells like they were always meant to be there. The day the doctors said 100-day scans are clean, I transferred exactly $40,000. The exact gap amount to the hospital and released the rest of the wedding escrow. Chloe still got her Amalfi Sunset and her peonies and her string quartet, just 3 months late. And dollar for OK lighter. My parents aged 10 years overnight. When they realized the trust fund they'd been counting on for retirement was now 100% in my name for the benefit of June's great-grandchildren. There's only one great-grandchild. Her name is Lily. We haven't spoken since the day I handed them the revised trust documents in the hospital cafeteria. I walked away while my mother was still screaming that I was ungrateful. Last I heard, Chloe's husband is making her get a job because the bank of mom and dad closed. Dad's flipping burgers at the golf club where he used to have a platinum membership. Mom sells Tupperware on Facebook Live. Lily started preschool last month. She carries a tiny backpack with otters on it and tells everyone her auntie gave her magic sparkles that made the sick go away. I finished the Otter book sequel. It debuts next spring, illustrated entirely during night shifts in Lily's hospital room. Pre-orders already hit 120,000. Grandma's trust will pay for Lily's college and then some. Sometimes justice doesn't look like revenge. Sometimes it looks like a little girl chasing bubbles on a playground she almost never got to see. While the people who tried to trade her life for peonies watch from the sideline, they put themselves on. So yeah, that's the story of how my sister's $1 to $5 wedding became the $40,000 that bought my daughter the only currency that matters: time with my child. What would you have done? And where are you reading this from? I want to know how many of us have had to become the villain in someone else's story to be the hero in our baby single quotes. Thank you for listening.